we're going to start above the line, and we're going to go down 2 nuqtas like we would in the normal situation. For the middle ba, the first shape I'm going to teach you is the normal shape that we do in the very beginning. You just repeat it again. Okay, so typically how you would do this is you would go down and out, and then you go slightly up, and then you go down and out. So this is even, I would consider this a little too high up placed, but I want to illustrate the point, so just keep that in mind. So the confusion here is if I did another notch, just like I did over here in these two, it's going to look like harf sin, which we don't want. So to differentiate, we have a few ways we can utilize. One way is we can go up, right? And there is no like definite sizing to how far up, at least not as far as I know. Right? It can be, it's around 2 nuqtas. It could be a little less, a little more, but roughly around that. So in this case, you would be able to differentiate this from, or this entire entity from harf sin, right? And it's one of the many ways you can utilize to differentiate what is known as this is known as a sin. So to differentiate this sin from being from a harf sin, you can utilize this to create that differentiation. Another form, so it has 2 forms so far. It is first form and the second form. Okay. Let us go ahead and look at the third form. And it is another way to differentiate it from harf sin. So we're just going to go ahead and do what we did in the beginning. Okay. And assuming, or actually let's just do another sin here for the purposes of explanation. Okay. So another situation where we need to differentiate the third sin from being harf sin. What we can do is similar to harf dal. Okay. We would grab over here. Okay. And essentially create a harf dal. This is nothing different from harf dal. 1 nuqta on top and then 2 nuqtas down here, and it goes down on a slant. Okay. And this could be, these two things are the same exact thing. This shape is the same as this shape number 1, and this is just another shape as an alternative to this. And usages could include aesthetics, so you want to utilize the space around you in the paper, so you can utilize this shape instead of this shape. Okay, so this is shape number 3. Okay, moving on, the next shape is going to be a 1 going up, similar to number 2. So we're going to just create our first notch like we did earlier. Okay, 2 nuqtas. And then we're going to move up. Okay, same length as we did in the first one. But the difference is that we're not going to go back down from here. We're going to go straight from the top over here. And what we're going to do is the same exact motion we did here, just up here. Okay, and we're going to start from where we left off in the upward stroke. So we're going to go like that and out 2 nuqtas, right? And that is another way you can differentiate. This right here is our fourth shape. Okay. How it's going to look is as follows. We're just going to have anything before something's coming on from before. And let's say you have حرف الباء before حرف الياء, right? How is that going to work? Do you just create a normal sin? Sort of, but this is how it's going to look like. You are going to create the head of حرف الياء instead. So you can see right here, I'm just going to finish حرف الياء. Okay. This right here, this little notch is your letter for حرف الباء, right? And that is going to be your fifth shape. Okay. This is typically used before a letter like حرف الياء, and it's this is one of the few ways you can utilize to do that. Just to look back again and recap what we just saw. We have shape number 1, which is the normal shape we would typically utilize. Shape number 2, 3, 4, right? Those are all valid options to utilize when we either want to just fix the word for aesthetics and fit space, or for purposes related to differentiating these 3 notches or snan from being حرف السين. And our last shape, which is the shape number 5, is typically used before حرف الياء in a way to differentiate it from that letter. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and inshallah I will address examples of these in another video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.